isn't it good to, you know, we all gonna end up doing wrong in life, right?
Yeah.
None of us are perfect, right?
Yeah.
But isn't it good to learn from your mistakes?
Yeah,
But that's just not
Hold on, isn't it?
that's not the only way to learn, though.
Isn't it an important
There's other
part?
ways to
hold
learn.
on, isn't that an important part of human growth to learn from your mistakes?
Very.
So if you don't make mistakes from, let's say you've experienced an emotion and you reacted to that emotion and you've hurt someone, right?
But not everyone.
Hold on a second. You've hurt someone, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You hurting that person because you reacted in a negative way towards your emotion, isn't it a good thing? Because that allows you to learn something that you've done wrong. And later on you realize, why did I react like that? Why did I do that? I did, but that's, guess what? I just learned that next time I'm not going to do that. But I had to go through that experience of me experiencing that emotion, reacting in that way, and then realizing that what I've done is wrong. I think that's important for human growth. I think every single human, as long as that reaction doesn't cause the level of harm, like it causes, how do I say this? Causes illegal harm, put it that way. But for the most part, it doesn't. For the most part, people will say bad things to each other because they've experienced, because the other person did something to them. They get angry. They'll say something to them, and then they realize that what they've done is wrong. I think that's important. You need to feel those things.
There's a line as well. When you get above a certain level, it's not whether it's emotionally intelligent or not. Is it moral or not?
Exactly.
When it gets too serious, it's like that. Everything kind of below that is a human learning process.
Yes.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Everything Nelson just said right now is what emotional intelligence is. But because he's not aware of emotional intelligence, he did it subconsciously, and that's what I was just talking about. Your state, that's why I was laughing, because everything you just said was what emotional intelligence is about.
Okay, but wouldn't emotional intelligence...
Wait. What you just said was what emotional intelligence is about.
It can't be.
But
it can't be.
you just did, because you don't have a fuller understanding of what it is. When you do it unconsciously, it's using you. When you do it consciously, you are using the tool and you are empowering yourself.
But I'm doing it consciously. But for example, if I was to use the example that I gave, someone hurt me, right? And then I reacted in a way and I hurt that person, right?
Yeah.
Or I said something to offend them. Anyways, I retaliated, right? So if I was to apply emotional intelligence to that scenario, I would be like, okay, they've just said this to me. I'm experiencing anger. I'm experiencing all of these feelings surging through. I'm identifying the feelings. And now I'm making an emotion. I'm managing my emotions. I am now separating my emotions from my logical thinking. So therefore, I'm not going to react in that way. So if someone says, oh, you brick, you're an idiot, or insults me, right? So my natural reaction is to do what? No, you a prick. You're an idiot. You know what I mean? To basically insult them back, right? If I was to apply, I would have never gone through that entire process.
So is that the right thing to do?
Sorry?
To respond and call them a prick? Is that the right thing to do?
I think it's important.
That's your choice.
No, it's important because it allows...
There's no right and wrong in this,
No. It's important because it allows you to learn from the mistakes of others. So from the mistake, from your own personal mistakes.
What, someone calls you a dickhead, so you call them a dickhead, so you want to reflect and be like, man, I should have called them a dickhead.
And then after that, when you realize that, damn, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Maybe that was wrong.
You didn't have to go that far.
Yeah,
emotional intelligence would have stopped you. But what you would have made a wiser decision than to react.
Exactly, but the thing
that's what it's about.
But that doesn't follow according to human growth and human experience.
It does. It's right in line.
No. Like for example, we are wiser now, right? So the way we react now, we're a bit elderly now. We have learned from being involved in those situations. Okay, some more than others, right? So but that's part of growth. That is part of just growing up. And then I look back at some of the way, some of the ways I've responded to people that hurt me, and I think, damn, maybe I shouldn't have gone that far. Maybe I shouldn't have and whatnot.
But you know, there's different ways of learning. There's learning through experience, learning through just your imagination, learning through education, and emotional intelligence is the learning through education part. You'll talk about you got to experience, which is correct, but why not explore all three? Why do you always have to experience? Some things aren't meant to be experienced. You experience it to your own detriment. That's why there's other tools in place, like you can use your imagination. If I touch this fire, I'm gonna burn my hand. It is hard to understand, and it is simple, but it is useful.
No, what I'm trying to actually understand the term itself. Yeah. I'm trying to understand, and so far I haven't been able to actually understand what benefit does that.
Yeah.
How does that help me?
So you don't want to have the ability to process your emotions.
No, I already process my emotions. I don't believe in the whole subconscious.
I think you're overestimating that statement.
No, look, I don't believe. We all feel our emotions. We feel our emotions. When we're angry, we feel it. When we having that greedy feeling, we feel it.
But do we acknowledge it though?
Huh?
But do we acknowledge it? Some of us are sleepwalking. We're walking around drifting.
Depends on our motivation behind it.
Exactly. So in some cases, you are going to be conscious. Some cases, you're not going to be conscious.
That doesn't take away from the fact that if, for example, I'm always conscious of my emotions because I can't help but feel it. But what I'm saying is it's the motivation behind it that will determine what my actions will be. So, for example, as a Christian, even though I'm feeling all these emotions, because I believe it's immoral, my reaction would be immoral. That's the reason why I do it. I don't do it because I've applied emotional intelligence. Do you think it's really realistic that a person can apply emotional intelligence and not? It's like it's taken away from that human side.
Do you know what I think you're doing? I think because of your Christian values, or some people have their own philosophy. With you've got your Christian philosophy that you live by, so you don't see the use of emotional intelligence because your Christian values is getting you through these situations anyway. So I can respect what you're saying.
So what use would
because you're already being guided by higher principles.
So what use would a pagan and an atheist have for emotional intelligence?
Well, it's because then they will get to that. They will get to where you get to with your Christian responses in a different way.